So let me welcome Zackary to the stage. He's giving a talk on tracking stuffed toys for naturally mapped interactive play via a soft pose estimator.
So, okay, thank you, Professor, for your introduction. So, hello, everyone. I'm Zackary from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and I'm very excited to be here at KaiPlay for the first time to present my work, tracking stuffed toy for naturally mapped interactive play via soft pose estimator. So our work is about how to enable a stuffed toy as a controller for interactive play. So as you can see here, I'm able to use the tracker stuffed toy to interact with the virtual dollhouse. So my presentation today have 4 components: the theoretical motivation, research question, key technique, and user studies. We will first start with the theoretical motivation. So according to the literature, extended reality is appealing because the immersion of an XR system can induce presence in the user. Cummings and Bellison decomposed immersion into features such as image quality, field of view, among which they found that tracking level to be the most important immersive feature. It refers to the number and types of degree of freedom tracked by the XR system. On the other hand, naturally mapped control interface, or NMCI, refers to a controller that looks and feels the same as the in-game objects. So they can be categorized into 4 categories, as you can see. So with good natural mapping, a user can instinctively map a real-world action into the in-game action. So an NMCI expected to enhance presence in the user. So from here, we can see that the theoretical frameworks of XR and MNCI overlap. Specifically, we now know that NMCI can enhance presence, while an XR experience ultimate goal is to enhance presence in the user. Further, we also know that a high degree of freedom tracking is beneficial to presence as well. So to visualize this joint perspective of XR and MNCI represents a visualization cube, which uses XR, natural mapping, and controller rigidity as orthogonal dimensions. So with this cube, it exposes a research gap. Particularly interesting to our case is that it indicates to us a research gap for a free-form NMCI controller for extended reality. So our paper aims to explore the possibility of such a controller via stuffed toys, as people already know how to play with a stuffed toy. So to investigate a stuffed toy controller, we aim to address 2 research questions. So 1, is it possible to track a deformable stuffed toy for interactive play? And 2, how to play respond to this playable stuffed toy controller? So we first move to address our Q1. So tracking a stuffed toy requires tracking both the pose and deformation of the toy, which we call soft pose. Our idea on how to track a stuffed toy soft pose is to combine pose estimation with cage-based deformation. We call our network soft pose estimator. To prepare a dataset for training, we use a synthetic dataset for practicality. So this is the pipeline of our soft pose estimator. The RGB input is first used to extract the feature and detect the bounding box of the soft object. And then we took the bounding square and then use our line to get the localized D feature. Then our network estimates the segmentation mask and normalized object coordinate, or NOC, to aid in the pose estimation. The segmentation mask is then applied to the D feature. Finally, the soft pose estimator estimates the pose and deformation of the soft object. So please note that although our soft pose estimator is trained with synthetic data, it can be used for real RGB input. So here we show the stuffed toys 3D reconstruction in cages, and these are the toys that are used in our study. So from left to right, they are Pikachu, obviously, the penguin, and the dragon. So action recognition and collision detection are important for gameplay. So by placing key points, we can use each of them for collision detection, or we can use the relations between them for action recognition via thresholding. So to check the accuracy of a model, we manually label segmentation masks and apply them upon the depth map captured by Azure Connect. So this will give us a ground truth depth map. So our pose accuracy range is 75 to 99%, which is comparable to other pose estimation work that only works on rigid objects. So here we show some qualitative tracking results for the penguin, Pikachu, and dragon stuffed toy. Particularly, note that the leftmost column is the RGB input. Other columns are the estimations. So with a workable tracked stuffed toy, we address our Q2 by conducting 2 user studies to investigate how players will respond to them. So for the first user study, we had recruited 15 participants to play 2 MR game. So the first one is Pikachu at Home. You already seen it in the beginning of this presentation. And here is a participant playing the game. So he is now trying to turn on the TV by moving the Pikachu towards the television. So television turn on. And then the Pikachu need to follow the exercise program on the television. So he bends left and then bends right. Okay, so the other ML game is Penguin in the Run. So in this game, the player need to avoid the obstacle by moving the penguin, around. So, and he can also squeeze the toy to squeeze through the type obstacle. So the TLX score reveals that the gameplay with the tracked toy is comparable to other video games. And the partial CSI scale also show that the gameplay can be engaging and immersive. For the second user study, we have recruited 10 participants to play an AR game. The focus of this second user study is to compare our tracked toy with other, common controlling method, particularly hand tracking and joystick control. For the AR device, we used a video see-through HMD, and the 2 controlling method, joystick control and hand tracking, are enabled by Oculus Quest 2. So the AR game involved is called Dragon Dungeon Escape, where the player needs to solve a simple room puzzle to free the poor dragon. So here is me again trying to show the flow of the gameplay. So here I'm now trying to flip the wing of the dragon to generate some wind, such that the fan at the back. And then I move the dragon to the pot to pick up the pot. And I move the pot by moving the dragon. I press the head to release the pot. And then finally, I long press the head so that the dragon will breathe fire. So this is the game. So the TIX score reveals that the tracking toy is a competitive mode of interaction in terms of workload. And the partial CSI scale show that the stuffed toy control seems to have an advantage in terms of engagement and immersion. So we also asked the user to rank which is their favorite controlling method, and our stuffed toy control seems to have an advantage in terms of ranking. So here are some excerpts from our focus group discussion, which reveal some qualitative insight. So you can see here, Alex say that the stuffed toy is easiest to understand spatially. So I can just grab it and move it around. I can immediately know where the hand and the wing are for manipulation. So we hope that in the future, our work can be used for childcare application of games or to act as some sort of a soft personal companion to children. So to conclude, the core contribution of our paper is to investigate how to track a stuffed toy for interactive play. So for further detail, please refer to our paper. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Everybody. Günther, there's some folks I think who are getting ready to ask, but nothing that I can see yet, except for lots of love for Pikachu and dragons that breathe fire after a long press.
Okay. We have one question here.
Okay. Hi, yeah, Elizabeth Reed from University of British Columbia. I have a question about the accuracy in terms of like the shapes of the different stuffed toys. Like Pikachu, for example, has like the ears right compared to the penguin. I think you had a slide, but it kind of passed quickly, so I didn't quite notice the accuracies for the different toys there. But I was wondering if you have any insight about like types of stuffed toys that might work better than others based on their shape.
Yeah, so thank you very much for your question. So I'm a bit nervous, so I can't come up with all the details right now. But one of the reasons why the penguin track worse is because it's actually smaller. So it's kind of less easier to see for the computer vision model. And another thing is because the penguin is smaller. So when the player deforms the toy, the area that is affected is larger. And therefore the accuracy for the penguin is worse compared to the Pikachu. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beth, anything else? Just Pikachu's?
Not at the moment, sorry.
Okay.
And I'm just I do have one. Are you going to try it with children or other users? This was sort of mainly you testing it, yes, if I understood correctly.
Yeah, thank you for your question. So I originally wanted to let children to play with our toy, but due to the COVID, we are very concerned of the safety of the children. So we have to delay, and we hope that in the future we can invite children and we develop an application specifically for them to see what is the fact. Maybe it can help them to develop empathy, that sort of benefits for children. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We have some play testers at University of Maryland. If you want to talk later, that would be great. Thank you.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We have one more question.
Hi, two questions. The first
Yeah.
one, just really quickly, what was the latency like on your computer vision to get that soft body simulation going?
Okay, so for the tracking, we have, as I recall, a 30 frame per second.
Mhm.
So that's
So it's
latency.
pretty instantaneous.
It's good enough. It's good enough, but it should be better, to be honest. My aim is to go to at least 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
But we need to, so it will take time to optimize the network. But I believe that with some work in terms of engineering, so that's why I didn't focus on it. Engineering, I should be able to get it up to 60 frames per second. Yeah.
And have you thought about doing? Obviously, this is optically tracked. Have you
Yes.
thought about other ways to do that, like accelerometers sewn into the toys and things like that?
Thank you. So the reason we didn't use this kind of embedding sensor is because we wanted the stuffed toy to don't need to inject some embedding in it. So it will make the production more complex and also kind of alter the toy, and it kind of loses some of the softness. So that's why we wanted to rely mainly on an optical method. But no doubt that if we inject some kind of sensor inside the toy, it should be able to make the tracking better. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I have one quick question myself.
Thank you.
Like right now, it's purely an input device.
Yes.
Have you thought of also providing like a sort of haptic feedback through the stuffed toy?
Oh, that would be a lovely idea. Yeah. Thank you. So I think that we can. So actually, I have. So here's two things. So yeah. So one of the things is that I can again inject some sort of a haptic device into the stuffed toy so maybe the child shake the hand and the hand can shake a little bit, that sort of thing. That would be fun. Another thing that I'm actually working on is that I actually have I actually have another work in a graphics conference, which is about neural rendering. So what I wanted to do ultimately is that when the children is wearing an AR glasses, so the children, kind of, shake the Pikachu's hand, and then the Pikachu may be able to wave back, because via a neural rendering, it can alter. So it is a overlay of the Pikachu. So the Pikachu move with the neural rendering. So that kind of visual augmentation is what I'm going to do in the future as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
Thank
thank
you.
the speaker again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.